Hi, Assalamualaikum and very good morning to the lecturers. Today I'll be presenting my final assessment under the subject legislation in the creative industry. So this is be my final assessment presentation. So the assessment given was case studies, and the topic chosen for these case studies understanding professional ethics in creative practices. So these are the content that I'll be present throughout my presentations. So first we have our introduction, and we'll follow through a literature review, and I'll be presenting 3 cases that I've been studying and researched in this project. And lastly, we'll be having our conclusion. Professional ethics are a set of principles that guide how individuals behave in professional settings. These ethics apply to all fields, not just well-known professions like doctors or lawyers, pilots, and so, but also to those in the creative industry. It helps prevent conflict and promotes fairness among creative practitioners. These presentations aim to explore the importance of professional ethics in the creative sector, while also reflecting on past research related to this topic. Ethics in the creative industry involve understanding what is right and what is wrong in the making, sharing, and use of creative works. It focuses on fairness, honesty, and responsibility toward creators, audience, and society. One major ethical issue is intellectual property. Creative work is often unique and cannot be touched or measured. So this include plagiat, copyright violations, stealing cultural ideas, and unsafe working conditions, data privacy issues, and so on, etc. A lack of clear rules, intense competitions, and the push to always be creative, especially without proper training or awareness, can lead to poor decisions by individuals or companies. Artificial intelligence, or commonly called AI, is only ethical when it augments the skills of real artists rather than attempting to replace them, particularly when it comes to replicating the work of a person. One of the biggest issues with using AI in creative industry is the amount of copyright infringement underlying many generative AI models. So developers must feed this model thousands of pieces, examples, or content to create another product of content to create another output. AI model use training data sets that contain copyright material. This copyright content gets baked into AI without the creator's consent. So we are talking about child pornography ads, advertisements. In the creative industry, it is often those working behind the camera who earns more. So basically, even in a child pornography videos or marketings or advertisement, it's always the man behind the camera who earns more, who earns the profits, who earns the share, largely in scale rather than the model itself. So this applies not only to Hollywood but also to the pornography industry, where producers typically receive the largest share of the profits. So much of today's pornography is created to sexually arouse the viewer and is widely distributed through videos, books, magazines, and other media. Alarmingly, child pornography has become a highly profitable industry. According to Enough is Enough, the creator of the Emmy Award-winning series Internet Safety, the global child pornography industry was worth an estimated $3 billion annually as of 2008. Unauthorized copying of movies, or we can say piracy of movie, has been a major concern of the film industry itself, whether the distribution of the movie is being distributed after or even worse before the release of the movie itself. It has been argued that the availability of unauthorized copies directly affects theater attendance and DVD sales, and hence represents a major financial threat to the movie industry. Moving on, we will go through our case study. So basically, case study is a detailed study of a specific subject, which right now will be studying for my past research or past issue that have been related to ethical issue. The first case study will be the X-Men Origins Wolverine movie leak issue. In 2009, an unfinished version of X-Men Origins Wolverine was leaked online 30 days or 1 month before its official release. Although the film earned $180 million at the box office, the exact amount lost due to piracy is unknown. The leaked version was incomplete, with missing effects, unedited scene, and temporary sound. Basically, it is an incomplete version of the movie, since it was being distributed before its official release, so it hasn't been audited enough before its official release to the theater. So the legal actions that has been taken: Gilberto Sanchez, a 49-year-old man from the Bronx, New York, admitted to illegally uploading nearly complete work print version of X-Men Origins. He was sentenced to 1 year in federal prison by Judge Margaret M. Morrow, who described the crime as extremely serious. In addition to the prison sentence, Sanchez was also given 1 year of supervised release and faced several computer usage restrictions. So the impact on the industry. Many in the film industry believe that piracy is especially harmful when it occurs before a movie's official release. Of course, this is because first, there are no legal alternatives for viewers to watch the film, and second, early alerts often come from the most eager and dedicated fans. Pre-release piracy significantly reduces expected box office earnings, especially during the early stage of a film release. Studies have shown it can lower box office revenues by 19% compared to the piracy that happens after the movie is officially released. So it shows here that the distribution of the piracy is much more worse when it was being released online before the official release of the movie. So moving on to the second case study, which is a Balenciaga Summer-Spring 2023 campaign advertisement. Balenciaga, the French luxury brand, has faced a big crisis regarding their product campaign because of the team that has been accused of promoting pedophilia and the sexualizations of minors. The photo shoot for the brand's Spring-Summer 2023 collection was the first campaign advertisement to provoke criticism. 6 young toddlers were holding teddy bears while wearing BDSM bondage gear, including fishnet ties, leather harness, and chains. The legal actions taken for Balenciaga was the case U.S. Williams, examining whether laws prohibiting the promotion of child pornography violate the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. A related case, Ashcroft, a Free Expression Coalition, ruled that portion of the Child Pornography Prevention Act of 1996 were unconstitutional because they infringe on the rights to free speech. In response to the controversy surrounding its campaign, Balenciaga issued a formal apology. The campaign was later withdrawn following widespread public criticism and resulted in a $25 million lawsuit against the team responsible. Balenciaga acknowledged the incident as a series of grievous errors and accepted full responsibility. Impact on the industry. Various forms of entertainment, including music videos, film, fashions, magazine, and social media, contribute to the early exposure of children to sexualized content and imagery. In the fashion industry, in particular, young children, especially girls, are often portrayed in ways that make them aware of sexuality from an early age. These repeated portrayals create a media environment that normalizes the sexualization of children and promotes the idea that a person's value is based more on appearance than character. According to Christia Space Browns of the University of Kentucky, constant exposure to such imaginary can desensitize society, ultimately making this type of representation seems acceptable over time for the society. So, following to our last case study, which is AI copyright. So the issue was, in recent years, machine learning-based image generators have rapidly advanced, enabling the creation of high-quality image using natural language prompts. This technology progress has led to the rise of many commercial generative AI arts platforms. However, numerous professional artists have raised concern about the negative impact of these tools, particularly because many AI models are trained on large datasets of images and text sourced from the internet, often without the consent of the original creators themselves. So the legal actions taken, copyright protections, strictly speaking, does not apply to a specific copy, book, or a painting, but rather to the abstract work itself. In no case does copyright protection for an original work of authorship extend to any idea, regardless of the form in which it is described, explained, illustrated, or embodied in such work, states Section 102 and in bracket B, defining the idea expression dictonomy. To put it simply, copyrights protect expression, but not the ideas behind it. The impact on the industry. It does present challenges for humans and has the potential to replace human roles in various fields. This progress introduces significant ethical concern, particularly within the creative industry. It is essential that AI algorithms are held accountable, as they can create social issues if they are not developed and applied ethically. The system must be designed to be ethical by design, ensuring they uphold individual rights and help address injustice, especially in areas such as copyright and intellectual property. The creative industry is growing quickly due to the innovation, technology, and changing culture. However, this growth also brings important ethical challenges. Each case shows a different ethical problem. These issues show that clear rules and ethical guidelines are needed as technology continues to grow. In conclusion, creative professionals like artists, designers, filmmakers, and marketers must be aware of ethical values. This includes respecting human rights, intellectual property, and cultural sensitivity. Laws give structures, but ethics give purpose. Together, they help the creative industry grow in a fair and responsible way.